Hey guys, it's Barlock here, bringing you another Pokemon Theories video based on the recent Nintendo Direct. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the new Dynamax feature, what it is, what we know about it, and my theories based on what we've seen. I've been itching to do this video because there's just so much to talk about with this new feature. But while working on the video, we did unexpectedly learn a bit more about Dynamax at E3, so I've had to work in the new information here as well. So, with that in mind, let's get started. A few weeks ago, I had noticed that the stadium that appeared at the end of the Sword and Shield reveal trailer looked suspiciously similar to the stadiums used in Pokemon Go raid battles. But I didn't end up making a video on it. Man, I'm really regretting that now though, because Pokemon Go raids definitely seem to have formed the basis for how max raid battles work in Sword and Shield. So, first of all, what is Dynamax? The Direct first revealed that Dynamax is a new mechanic which can allow you to make one of your Pokemon supersized for 3 turns and turns their attacks into extra powerful max moves. These max moves are similar to Z moves, but provide additional effects as well. For example, Max Strike, which comes off of Tackle, lowers the target's speed stat, whereas Max Flare, which comes off of Flamethrower, turns the weather sunny after being used. In addition, most status moves seem to turn into Max Guard, which sounds like some sort of protect move, but we haven't had any confirmed details on what this actually does yet. Dynamax seems to be particularly important during gym battles, as we now have seen 2 different gym battles revolving around showdowns between Dynamax Pokemon. Game Freak are definitely aiming for big, cinematic spectacle for this new feature, which it seems to be delivering on, although it's pretty questionable why exactly the trainers are standing in front of their Pokemon while they attack each other. I mean, have you seen how huge these attacks are? Look out for that giant column of flame! Oh no, there's a giant slab of rock coming towards you! Oh, god, that kid just got turned into a red paste. Anyway, there are also wild Dynamax Pokemon that you can encounter in max raids, which are found at certain beams of red light in the wild area, and which change every day depending on the weather. Max raids sound much more interesting and challenging than gym battles to me, with additional strategies required in order to win. In max raid battles, the Dynamax Pokemon you're fighting doesn't have the 3-turn limit, and up to 4 players can participate in co-op action to take on the raid boss. Or, if you're playing solo, it has been confirmed that AI companions will fill out any missing teammates. Players get only 10 turns to defeat the Dynamax Pokemon, and if all 4 players' Pokemon are knocked out, then the battle is lost. In addition to huge health bars and stronger attacks, Dynamax Pokemon might also use multiple moves in one turn, nullify your Pokemon's ability, or remove all stat changes. Weakened raid Pokemon can also put up shields, which must be hit a certain number of times to break before they can take any more damage. And it was seen in the recent E3 demo that the shield can take 5 hits before it breaks. If this all sounds a bit daunting to overcome, don't worry. To even the odds of it, 1 player in the raid is allowed to use the Dynamax Pokemon of their own to fight back. In addition, defeated players can cheer on their teammates to give them a boost. I would assume that this functions similarly to the move Helping Hand that already exists in the Pokemon games, but that hasn't been confirmed yet. When a raid Pokemon is defeated, all players who participated get a chance to catch it, but even if they fail, they will get useful items regardless. Personally, I think that max raids sound quite fun, similar to raids in an MMO or co-oping a boss in Dark Souls. I do think that there is a chance that they will become repetitive and stale over time, but for now at least the concept sounds fun, refreshing, and challenging to the point where I'm excited to try it out. There just seems to be all sorts of new strategies to try out, and old moves gaining new uses. Moves like Light Screen and Reflect will become essential to manage Dynamax Pokemon's damage output, and I'm really curious to see if multi-hitting moves like Bullet Seed can knock down a Dynamax Pokemon's barrier in a single attack. So Dynamax is Generation 8's new gimmick, and it seems to combine the concept of Mega Evolution and Z moves, the new battle mechanics which were added in the previous 2 generations. However, it is confirmed during E3 that Dynamax is straight up replacing Mega Evolution and Z moves, which seems... oh boy, it's a questionable decision in my opinion. I'm actually pretty sad to see Z moves go, especially after the Sword and Shield reveal trailer seemed to show off a Lucario using one. But it's even more disheartening to see all of the unique mega evolutions that most of the fan base love get taken away because of this new feature that no one asked for. The only positive I can really see is that at least Dynamax is distributed equally to all Pokemon, rather than favoring a handful of Pokemon capable of mega evolution. However, there are some pretty credible leaks I've seen that there's going to be another kind of Dynamax revealed later, which will dramatically change Pokemon's appearance in battle. And that just seems like it's creating more work than it's worth in my opinion, and taking away any sort of balance that there might have been in getting rid of Mega Evolution. Now, granted, this hasn't been confirmed yet, but I would not be surprised if we see this soon, especially since I mentioned in a previous video that Leon's Charizard is definitely going to be getting some sort of new form that we haven't seen yet. So part of the reason that Dynamax is replacing Z-moves and Mega Evolution may be because of the way that it works in battle. First of all, the player needs a key item called the Dynamax Band before they can use Dynamax, similar to the Keystone or Z-Ring from previous games. However, to Mega Evolve or use Z-moves, Pokemon previously had to hold a special item as well. We've been told that in max raid battles, one player will get the chance to Dynamax their Pokemon per turn, and if they do not do it, then the opportunity will cycle to the next player each turn until someone uses the ability or the battle ends. This would suggest to me that Pokemon did not need to hold a special item to Dynamax. After all, if you're planning a raid, why would you have multiple Pokemon holding an item needed to Dynamax if the plan is that only one person is going to use it? That's just a waste of resources, and there would be no reason to have to cycle the opportunity. This also causes me to beg the question of whether this feature is going to carry over to online battles. After all, it seems like it makes your Pokemon monstrously overpowered and basically unkillable for 3 turns, which would disrupt the oh-so-precious balance Game Freak seems to be prioritizing when they decided that they didn't want to let you carry all of your Pokemon over from Pokemon Home. Sorry. I'm still pissed off about that, though. Anyway, I feel like Dynamaxing in online battles could go either way, honestly. After all, it wouldn't be the first battle gimmick that was confined to this story only. Just remember Pokemon Ami or Refresh from the last couple generations. Grooming and playing with your Pokemon would give you huge bonuses in the middle of battle, but this was confined to playthroughs only and was ignored completely in online play. Furthermore, it has already been shown that Dynamax can only work in special areas, so it stands to reason that you wouldn't be able to just do it in random battles in the overworld, or possibly in online play either. And, like I said, it sounds totally overpowered, and is capable of stopping a well-planned sweep in one move, and could possibly lead to more stall-y playstyles in order to avoid getting cracked open by a Dynamax Pokemon. However, none of this will necessarily stop Game Freak from implementing their big new gimmick in online battles, so we're going to have to get more information on this, unfortunately. I also have some other questions about how Dynamax works in battles. We've seen Light Screen being used to defend against it, but what about Protect or Wide Guard? We don't have any confirmation yet, but I would be willing to bet that Dynamax bypasses moves like Protect in a manner similar to Z moves, causing a fraction of the damage it normally would have done. Before E3, I actually thought that maybe Dynamax could be protected against in order to balance it with Z moves, but now that we've got the confirmation that Z moves have been replaced, it's pretty safe to assume that they're going to be just taking its mechanics for this. After all this though, there's still a burning question remaining. Just what is causing Dynamax in the first place? It has been confirmed that Dynamax is a phenomenon unique to Galar, and it only occurs in certain areas of the region where red beams of energy gather. You'll notice during Dynamax battles that a wormhole-like storm opens up above the Pokemon, and 3 dark clouds circle around their head. It's possible that this could be associated with the power of the Ultra Wormholes that we saw in Pokemon Sun and Moon, but I think it's more likely that this is some new power that we've never seen before. Odds are that this is something related to the as-of-yet unknown 3rd legendary Pokemon, the giant monster whose likeness can be seen carved into the hillside in the reveal trailer. The details of that hill figure now make much more sense when we realize that it is probably related to Dynamax. Its enormous size here is almost certainly because of Dynamax, so it makes me wonder just how large it is when it's in its normal size. In addition, the swirl and lightning in the hill figure is actually probably just the Dynamax Storm. Originally, I had thought it was some sort of breath attack that the creature was using to smite people, but now I think that it's probably something slightly less sinister. However, if this creature is inextricably linked with Dynamax, then perhaps it lives on the other side of that wormhole, similarly to Necrozma. I also would not be surprised if its visual design carries something over from those three clouds that are above all Dynamax Pokemon. It's a very distinct design choice, and there has to be some sort of explanation for why all Dynamax Pokemon have these clouds circling above their heads. So where do I stand on Dynamax at this point? I don't want to judge it too harshly until I get a chance to try it. After all, I did think that Z-moves sounded really gimmicky, but I actually grew to really love them and their utility and how they could help make weaker Pokemon more viable. However, just based on what we've seen of Dynamaxing, it's sounding like a bad trade-off for Mega Evolution and Z-moves. I'm tepidly excited for max raids, but the idea of Pokemon growing to giant size in the middle of a battle just feels kinda dumb to me overall, especially since it seems to make them practically unkillable for 3 turns. Again, I need to get it in my hands and actually try it, but I can't say I'm particularly excited for this new feature. Anyway, that was my long-hyped Dynamax video covering its mechanics and my thoughts and theories about it. Do you have any Dynamax theories I missed? Are you excited for it, or do you miss Mega Evolution? Leave your comments below and drop a like if you enjoyed the video, as I am trying to grow this channel and appreciate any support. But until next time, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is Barlock, signing off.